Okay. Hello, and welcome. Hello, and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Bilo. I am your host. This is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. I'm a Khosi Football Club. And if you see me smiling, it's because I just did something with my settings here and I am realizing, Guti, this is not my complexion. Oh, what is happening? This is not my complexion. It's just too much edited. Uh, so I'm trying to fix that, and I only realized that as I was going live. But Tigeke, welcome to the show, guys. I think I fixed it in a way. Yeah, welcome to the show. Now it's too dark. Today we're talking about Kaizer Chiefs. As we know, Guti, the DSTV Premiership action and matches are coming back this weekend. And that basically starts this last push for each Chiefs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 games remaining before the end of the season. If you include in Cup, it's 8 because I won't count the eggs in Kuku. I won't count what do they call it? Whatever that's saying about eggs. So good, don't count whatever before don't count the eggs. English is playing with me here. But I'm not going to start saying we're going to win in Nedbank Cup. But I'm just gonna talk specifically about the league today because I think it's very, very, very important Uguti we start looking at these final 7 games and look at them and say, realistically, how many games can we win and how many points can we get? And from there, we can start, what's this thing? We can start saying, okay, realistically, this is where Chiefs can end. This is where we can get to. So I will also be interested to hear what you guys think, hence the title saying it's a discussion. So I want you guys to also just let me know what you think Chiefs is going to do in the next whatever 7 games that are remaining in the league. And also, as you are joining, make sure to like the video, make sure to smash the subscribe button if you are not subscribed to this channel. In this channel, we speak everything that has to do with Kaizer Chiefs. I will preview matches, we react to matches, basically everything that a Kaizer Chiefs fan. It's a community. It's a space where people can let voice their opinions and not be insulted, right? Because that's what we want to do. We want people to come here and talk and share their opinions, and then we can talk about our team that we all love. So yeah, I would be interested then to hear your comments about this thing. I am also trying to get the chat over here. Chat is disabled. Let me add a new chat so that I can see your chat, because I want to see what you guys are saying on the chat. Okay, do not show this again. View stats. I don't want stats. Okay, so yeah, technology is once again playing with me. So anyways, let's leave the technology alone. I guess I will be using something else for each chat. I have to find another way. Oh, you're getting my messages in chat. Okay. Anyways, the first game obviously is a game Stellenbosch, and I've already talked about a game Stellenbosch because there's a video that I made. And just a quick one. Stellenbosch are in a really good form, right? They are in a really, really good form, and it's going to be an interesting match because Stellenbosch at some point this season, we saw they were struggling, but all of a sudden they've just picked up this form, gotten a point from Sundowns. They are like the most informed team in the league after Sundowns because, well, no one can compare to Sundowns at this point in our league. But Stellenbosch has 4 wins in 5. Like, that's a lot. 4 wins in 5, and the other game is a draw. And that draw was against Sundowns. And that tells you a lot about where the team is. And it tells you what they know how to win the games. Even in the cup, they absolutely what's the word? Destroyed him. They also destroyed what's the name of the team? ETS Galaxy in that other game. They just always did. So I'm like, wow, this team is looking like they want to get in that space, the top 8, because that's what they're looking at right now. Because realistically, I don't think Stellenbosch, even their most optimistic fans, I don't think they see themselves finishing with top 3 right now. Because I won't say top 4, because I hear people saying top 4, but top 4 means nothing in South African football. It's either you are in top 3, which means you play in Europe, in Africa, in African football, or you are in the top 8, which means you play in the MTN 8. Otherwise, if you are not in the top 8 and you are not in the top 3, the next thing that you are fighting for is to basically be in the league, because those are the 3 things that are important. Either win the league, or be in the top 3, or be in the top 8, and the next best thing is for you to just stay in the league. So I think it's still in Porsche in that position. But I've said this and I'm going to say it again. I think Chiefs is going to win the game against Stellenbosch, because there is a lot on Chiefs, and the Chiefs needs to prove a lot. Otherwise, people will be talking trash again about them. Guti, he Chiefs this, he Chiefs that. So I think the other games that we're going to play, they all rest on how we start tomorrow against Stellenbosch, because we gain momentum. Like, we've won 3 games in a row, 4 if you're counting the cup. If you add, we would say, okay, we've won the other games, and now we win the cup. I mean, we win the 5th game in a row. That will do a lot for players' confidence, because now they will also just be in that space. You would say, we know how to win. So since we know how to win, let's just go out every other game and get more results. So I think that's gonna be very vital for the team. So I think game Sasa is going to be important for us. And yeah, let me hear what your comments are saying. I'll say by saying all the best. Ukatlego is saying hi, Mpilo. Chiefs need to promote the right wing back from the TDC. Ezokwenzana kodwa Katlego senior team. I'm asking that because even though Solomons has not been played, like, until Frostler got injured. So Solomons, how is he going to? I mean, the Utobejan, I think, forget his name. Ditejan, yes, Ditejan. If we bring Ditejan from it development, then what we end up doing is that we are going to bench him again and lose another talent. So I am at that place Vele where I'm like, we shouldn't rush these boys. Just wait for them to be ready, and for an opportunity to be available. Because if you're going to bring a player to a senior team and then they end up not getting any minutes, then you've basically destroyed talent. So that's my thing, Oguti. As much as I am for indaba promotion yabadlali abancane, ukuthi our development must be utilized one way or the other, I'm also not for ukuthi let's waste talent and bring players to the senior team only for them to be benched. So I'm divided when it comes to that, for sure. Usubongoboko is saying, I think we can get that second spot, but if we don't, then fine. I'm fine with CAF Confederations. If we get that on the log with DStv Premiership, as I'm thinking of the next season, we don't have a squad big enough to play over 50 games. That is true. I think Chiefs, what you can give them credit for the moves, the rumored moves, if they are true, then I would give them credit for that. Uguti, they are bracing themselves for Uguti should we qualify, and you'd expect Uguti. That's the message that's been communicated to Zwane, to the players. Uguti, we are boosting the squad, we are getting more players in so that you guys can basically get more people, can get more players and have more depth enough for you to play in the CAF Champions League or CAF Confederations Cup. Because I agree with you when Khosi Uguti, if we don't get second place, I don't care. If we as long as we are in the CAF competitions next season, because the last thing I would want is for us to go to the Champions League and get knocked out in the group stages. So maybe, hopefully, Uguti, as much as competition is still good enough, we Confederations Cup, one can only hope Uguti it can prepare us for a Champions League the following season. And you would think Uguti, we've gone all the way to the final with a weaker squad than what we have right now. We should be able to go in to the Champions League the following season, to the Confederations Cup, and I fancy us winning it. I know Uguti, they will banter and say, we CAF Confederations Cup, no one cares. But I will say Uguti, it's still an achievement, because then we would have introduced ourselves into the continental space and basically build from there. Liverpool, they went to CAF Confederations Cup, not CAF, Europa League, and then they got to the finals, and then they lost Kaplung, and then few years later they were winning Champions League. Chelsea won the Hazard last season. They won the Europa League, and then a year or two later they were winning the Champions League. So it builds, it gives you experience as well if you do this. I know Uguti, Chelsea had won the Champions League before, but I'm saying Uguti, teams should learn to take serious every other competition, because that's where you build on. The next game is Royal AM. I won't talk about Royal AM because, well, it's a cup. And then after that is the top 8, which is Isekukune. Isekukune, they beat us. Remember, they beat us in a very weird way, right? If you remember, like it was the birthday. It was frustrating. It wasn't weird. It was just frustrating. Yeah, well, if I can name the games that annoyed me the most this season, I see Ufonilwe Sundowns. It just happened, but it's not like Saboza. And then, but ama mistakes. Yeah, but there is a difference between game ama mistakes, like Sundowns, Sadluang ama mistakes, which is part of football. If you make mistakes, good teams will punish you. Bese kuzoba ama games afana ne-cheaper, games afana ne-galants, games afana ne-amazulu. A game where the team just becomes flat, right? Even arrows. A game where it's not necessarily a mistake. You made a stupid mistake, you lost the ball, you considered a penalty, then you are flat and you just don't see ukuthi team yenzani, abantu back frustrate. Those are the games that is a Kukune game, the cheaper game, the way we ended up losing to Arrows. That's the basket that those games fall into. So Isekukune is one of those games, and Utruta again, he's there and he wants to continue his good record against the Chiefs, because everyone wants to have a certain record against the Chiefs, and they're also fighting for a top 8. And we have seen and we've talked about how Isekukune are becoming more and more ambitious this season. So it doesn't make the game any easy, because if you're gonna notice a trend with all the games, like Isekukune, they're fighting for a top 8, right? And ideally they will also try to what's this thing? They will also try to get to a point where they finish higher than that. Ichipa is fighting relegation. Swallows, they are fighting relegation. Super Sport, they are fighting for second place. Cape Town City, they're ambitious enough. They have 33 points, we have 39. So they know if, let's just say, we lose one game, Cape Town City wins one game, they're 36. And then we play until the end of the season, and they will be 3 points behind us. On the last game they play us, they win that game, all of a sudden we are level on points and they have a better goal difference, and then they are above us. So Guabona, they are still in the top 3 contention in Cape Town City. So if you look at all the games that eChiefs has, I'm not saying we're going to lose, but there's no game that we are playing against a team that is like somewhere just floating around. They don't care about anything, right? All the teams that we have, they have something to fight for, and that probably makes them more interesting. Not to good, makes them more difficult, but more interesting and much more important for us to show up and actually perform, and not just show up and do nothing. Let me read a comment from Uspesihle, who's saying, no more predictions from me in terms of how many points we are going to collect or matches we are going to win, because the last time I did that, I was accurate because we collected 3 points in January. Because kushuthi phela wena, you're the one who must predict how. Like nje mangathiwa sithi okay, Gallants, they're fighting relegation, 3 points. And then Stellies bafethu, it's a draw or 3 points. Let's say draw. It's tomorrow, guys. I can't predict a draw. 3 points. Sekhukhune, that's a stupid game that can get us a draw. City 1 point, Sekhukhune. Cheaper, we should win the game. 3. Swallows 3. Super Sport 1 point. Cape Town City 1 point. 2, 5, 8, 9, 12, 15. Sounds about right. So 39 plus 15, that's 44. By the way, I didn't check how the previous season ended. That's just interesting. Where was the top 3 actually last season? Because how many points did the top 3 have last season? So not 43, 53, right? 53 points. If we get 14 points from the remaining games, let me see. The top 4 last season, number 2 got 49 points. The top 3, number 3 got 47 points up to number 5. And we missed out on CAF Confederations Cup because of a bad goal difference. Guess to who? To Cape Town City and Royal AM, as I was saying. So I think Indabema goal is also going to be important one, but how many points? 39 points, because you can't tell me we fail to get 10 points in the next 7 games. So I can honestly, I don't think it Chiefs, if there is a game that we could lose, the acceptable loss would be there's no acceptable loss, man. We have 3 teams fighting relegation. Sekhukhune is a top 8 candidate, but still we should be beating them. The team that could give us trouble is Stellenbosch, but we can only hope right now we can only win Chiefs get Stellenbosch was interrupted by the break, right? But now they didn't have players who were on international duty. So the game Yaksasa is going to be interesting, man. Yes, the more I think about it, the more I see what it's going to be. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I see what it's tricking. You come from one of my comments in. Utapelo saying, Chita, why we don't have a GC? I don't know what a GC is. Uspesihle, I don't know what a GC is. Please explain what that is. Especially saying Cape Town City, Super Sport and Maromo Gallants have always been a problem for us, even Stellenbosch, so it's going to be tough. And you think like it's like he makes a point, because also remember, I will say this, we have lost games this season that we're not supposed to lose. We have lost games that we look like we're going to win. There were games that have been bad, but Yaboye Cape Town City, it's that one game, the only game that started and you could see Guti Chiefs were going to lose the game. Because even against Sundowns, twice against Sundowns, we've played Sundowns twice this season, yet there was never a time where you were sure from the start which Sundowns is beating Chiefs here. No, you only saw once they were like 3 goals clear. Because even at 2-1, at 2-0, I think at 3-0, Chiefs still got a pen or something like that. And the game could have been on if we had scored that pen. But right now, it's just a situation where Cape Town City is the only team that was clear of us from the start of the game. So, yibo nje abayinkinga lapha ekugcineni. Ukatlego is saying Kaizer Chiefs won't win against Stellenbosch. I need you to explain. Because if you just say that, I can also just say Chiefs will win against Stellenbosch. Explain why, where you coming from with that. And then Abfi is saying Donai Jansen Kaizer Chiefs is great and good. Usbongo Boko is saying we have to win the Royal AM match to go to the semi-finals, as Royal AM has bad defense and we can catch them on their counters as they play highline, and I would like the boys to hammer them 3 or 4-0, even 5. That's one of the things that should start coming into our gameplay with Chiefs right now. Because if I look at our goal difference, we've scored 34 goals this season and we've conceded 26. Goal difference here to 8. And that's why, is there a glitch? No, that's last season, man. I can tell good that's last season. Something's not making sense. I'm looking at last season's table. This season, we've scored 27 goals and we've conceded 26. Goal difference here to 1. That's bad, right? That's bad. It's really bad, because if you think about it, the Pirates are like far ahead of us. Far ahead of us. And the it might just come down to that. Because if you look at SuperSport once again, same goal difference as the Pirates, right? It's just that we are same points with the Pirates, but we need to start scoring 4 or 5 goals in the competitions, also in the league. Because yabona nje playing against Sekukun, we should just do 4-0 abahle against Cheap, against Swallows, and the other things. So yeah, definitely. And I said this on the pre-match video, Uguti. Any team that's gonna try and be smart with the Chiefs, they're gonna be in trouble, because Chiefs has proven again and again, Uguti, if you're going to leave spaces behind, you'll be in trouble. Yet I still see some teams trying to be smart with the Chiefs and playing a high line. I'm like, do these guys actually have a death wish? Do they think, Uguti, you can play against a team that has pace and just say, nope, we are going to press them high and leave spaces behind? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. So I don't know why. I will give credit to Zwane on this one. Ukuthi abantu vele beginning of the season bebenalo nto leyo ukuthi they don't respect, they're no longer respecting Chiefs, because they're like, why respect the Chiefs? The Chiefs is weak, blah blah blah. And because of that, Uzwan was been like, okay, anisabi Chiefs, and so he press a high. Okay, thina nginte soyenza bobhuti, we will exploit the spaces that you leave behind when you're pressing us and see how you respond to that. And now, in a way, that's how Chiefs has kind of started creating more chances, and by exploiting basically what these teams do. So that's great. That's good for Uzwan, which is adapting and checking how these other teams are trying to play against him. Anyways, the next comment is Usposet is saying, with only 7 games to go, I see us not winning more than 3 games. How about it? Cha, yazi uyalwa-ke kodwa ulwa nje isiZulu fethu. Yazi ulwa isiZulu Siphosethu. You don't see us winning more than 3. Hayi Siphosethu ngeke. Usungidepress ebusuku kanjena. How? You don't see us winning? Guys, there is Isekhukhune, that should be a win. Cheap, that should be a win. Swallows, that should be a win. Gallants, that should be a win. It should be at least 4 wins, and then we can negotiate it draw on a Stellenbosch. 3-6-9-12. It draw on a Stellenbosch. Maybe it lost somewhere, I don't know. Not Cape Town City. We might as well, if we lose a game, we might as well lose tomorrow. Not against SuperSport, not against Cape Town City. If we lose, let's lose tomorrow. Dust ourselves off and then come back stronger for the rest of the season. But we can't be losing against or cheaper. That would be disrespectful to us. And then Usboniso is saying it's going to be tough and I'm scared of Stellies. It's a reasonable thing. Uksaba, I'm telling you now, it's a reasonable thing to fear because Stellenbosch, they are in a good form. By the way, if you haven't liked the video, please like the video. Please like the video. Please like the video. Please like the video. Stellenbosch, they're in a good form. But as I said, even on that video, I wrote it will be a statement win to say we're serious. We're not playing games anymore. We're done playing around. We want to win. We want the top 3. We want to play in Africa next season. So I think they should. Siyanda is saying awungangena sekulate awuzobuyela ekuqaleni because uyoyibukela ekuqaleni ivideo. And then Ukatleho is saying, because I don't see anyone who can score and carry the team, and all the teams know the lineup is Peterson, Gezana, Dove, Hlanti, Solomon, Sitebe, Matt Mdu, Dolly Dupresai. And that is the lineup. But which team doesn't have a known starting 11? And I will say this, what I do love about Uzwane in recent games is that he has surprised us at times. Like, you're not expecting Mahlatz and then boom, Mahlatz. Okay, didn't see that coming. And the fact that Umat is not going to be there tomorrow, it's also going to give us an opportunity to try someone else because the injury is basically forcing Uzwane to make some changes. So I think that's going to help the team as well to see Guti who's out there who can come in and say, I want to start playing. So that's going to be good. Edward is saying, please Mpilo, don't be afraid, Khosi will come out victorious. Yes, those are the vibes that I'm embracing at this point. Positive vibes only. Katle was saying only Matt will be replaced due to injury. It's not injury, it's yellow card. He got a yellow card. He scored that pen and celebrated, so he got a yellow card. Due to injury, and we know Zwane will replace him. Probably. You will see the match. I talked about that on the pre-match video. Khosi, I'm specific. As my heart when I saw your comment, it just went down. Caleb is coming back tomorrow. Watch the space. Caleb was here in Indonesia playing, and he's going to do well if he plays. I'm positive. Positive vibes. Bongobuku is saying we have to keep the striker quiet, Ikram Reyners, as he is on a scoring streak. So Dove and Nongezana kufanele basebenze to keep Mendieta out of the game because it opens up the game for them. Mkahlelo Mendieta. Mkahlelo. Don't break his leg. Just make sure that he knows good you are there. Ungezana. They should because you remember last time we were fearing Mendieta in the previous game against Stellenbosch. We we thought no, Mendieta was gonna be troublesome. He didn't do anything. The way we set up, because I remember in that game, that's the game that Uzwane brought back Ungezana, and people were complaining, why is Ungezana back in the starting 11? And he did the job, and then Mendieta was quiet. So Mina, I am just fearing good team. Is Stellenbosch the only way they can hurt us? Account, and if we can stop account, Stellenbosch ngeke basenze lutho. Counters and stupid set pieces, we must just stop that. Otherwise, we'll be in real trouble. Uluzo kwesengina kanjani sobuya nayo 3 points. Siyanda iseng mina kusasa ngizobona kudlala uDube. Kungenzeka uDove aphunyuzwe njengoba kade edlalela i-national team yakubo. Ngeke yabona ke, if there's one thing that I can guarantee, Uzwane would rather play uKwinika and Gezana than to play uDube. Dube ngeke adlale kwi-Chiefs. Uzwane akamuzwa kahle. Akamuzwa uDube. uDube wadlaliswa on that game because he was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of what, but Dove wasn't there. He wasn't available. So he got forced into playing Udube. Otherwise, Udube is not going to play with Chiefs tomorrow. But I stand to be corrected. I would be surprised though if it happened. Anyways, last comment. YouTube Usimba, be careful what you wish for. I don't want them to injure him. I just want them to let him know what they are there. Like, yeah, well, don't even try. But guys, it will be interesting for those of you who also watch after the video goes live, to let me know what do you think and how many points do you think Chiefs will get towards the end of the season. As for the rest of you, I will see you, everyone else, I will see you an hour before the game tomorrow. I kick off tomorrow is, I think the game starts at 8, yes? I think so. Let me confirm before we go off. So the game on my side starts at 10:30. What is 10:30? Oh, so that's 5:30. So the game it starts at 5:30 in South African time. So since that means I will be live at 4:30 tomorrow, previewing the game. So thank you so much for watching. But before I go, let me read the last comment from Edward, who says, because you can't predict Chiefs as you are not consistent, that will leave them with a lot of problems. Last time we forced them to concede 3 penalties. Tomorrow someone will get the red card. Khosi a red card. I would rather play a team with 10 players. It's harder. It's harder to play against a team a short die. Mina bangxaka even ex-footballers if they are blaming a team that is playing against a team edlala nabantu abashodayo. It's harder to play against a team that has fewer players because they are setting up to defend. Well, they are not gonna try anything smart. They're just gonna sit back and defend. So I just hope no one gets a red card. I hope they stay bonk, and then we can continue playing a game where they are in a position when